exercise, and keep eating the way you eat normally. Just keep eating, because sedentary to moving, you're going to automatically lose weight. Okay? Now, when you get your little groove on and your exercise routine on, they say after 21 days the habit is made.
That's
you
right.
do it for 21 days, you keep going, you're getting comfortable in your routine, then you're going to start seeing results. And you're going to be like, oh, wow, I don't want to eat that burger. I've been working so hard. I don't want that burger. Let me get a chicken sandwich instead.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to start to make little changes in your diet, right? So what I don't suggest is you go from having pizza and eating anything you want and not working out to eating, fish and nuts and working out like crazy.
Right.
Because you will crash and you will burn completely. Yeah. So again, if you baby step it, start with your exercise program, get that down first, and then once you start seeing results, you're not going to want to eat badly anymore. You're going to want to start making little changes in your diet anyway. Mm-hmm. So what I noticed for me, I started working out, but I didn't change my diet. And I lived in North Carolina at the time. North Carolina's hot in the summertime. So I used to go to Dairy Queen and get Mr. Misty's. You know what those are? They're like those, it's like a cheer. It's like a really sugary, icy drink. It's like an icy.
Okay.
And I was in pharmaceutical sales. So I used to go every single day. I would have a Mr. Misty.
Wow.
And then, so I was working out, and I started to see changes in my inches, but I wasn't losing any weight. So I was like, what is stopping me from losing the weight? So I said, you know what? Let me just not have these Mr. Misties anymore. Let's cut this out. Lost 5 pounds in 2 weeks because I cut out the sugary drink. So my suggestion is, when you start the program, start your exercise, and then look at your diet, look at what you're eating, and start making little tweaks to it. Mm-hmm. So cut out the soda. Maybe go to a diet soda. I'm not saying cut it completely because you can't go cold turkey. But what I'm suggesting to you is, instead of having 4 Cokes, have 2 Cokes.
Well, can I just throw in a little bit of holistic stuff in here? Because, like I said, one of the things that I'm into also is holistic health and healing. And actually working out and stuff is part of preventive maintenance, which is the premise for holistic health. Mm-hmm. And what you put in your body affects more than just the way your body looks.
Absolutely.
It affects, so the sodas, you mentioned sodas, and we all need to, and I've said this on my Facebook page a few times, we all need to be aware of our pH balance. And soda and smoking cigarettes are 2 of the most acidic things that we do to our bodies. Mm-hmm. And when your body is acidic, it breaks down the immune system and makes you susceptible to all of those things, diabetes and cancers and stuff. What a lot of people don't know, and what probably a lot of pharmaceutical companies and the Western medicine people don't necessarily want you to know, that if your body is at a certain pH level, the cancer cells can't live. The diabetic cells can't live. They can't live in that because our bodies are chemicals. So they can't live in that environment. So you really want to be aware of what you put in your body. Another thing I just wanted to touch on really quick, as far as high blood pressure scare when she was going to have the stroke. Actually, my dad did wind up having a stroke later. But when my mom went through it, which was when all of the health things came to me, when I started really researching that. The book that I read from my mother-in-law, 2 of the things that they really highlighted in that book was pork and beef. Mm-hmm. The fat content, because if it weren't riddled with fat, we wouldn't be able to chew it. It would just be a muscle. So beef and pork are 2 of the leading foods that lead to high blood pressure. Mm-hmm. Now there are, there's nutritional value in both. We want the protein and stuff from the beef. You also have to keep in mind with beef, red meat takes a long time, 7 days actually, to digest in our system. So, if you have meat sitting in 98.6 for 7 days, what do you think that's doing in your inside? Mm-hmm. But my point of this was, when after I read this, I eliminated beef and pork from my diet. This was before I actually started working out. Okay. I lost 14 pounds in 1 month without changing anything as far as what I was doing. Yep. So when you combine your diet with a workout routine, because once you start moving, like you said, once you start burning fat, you don't even really have to make huge changes immediately. You can make those little tweaks.
How are you, but you said no pork and beef, right?
No, I eat, because I did that for a year. and I just really missed a steak.
And that's the thing.
I'm such a
carnivore.
carnivore.
That's the thing. That's the thing. It's, you know, that's all good in thought. Like, oh my gosh, let me, like, my husband hasn't eaten beef or pork in 12 years.
Now, see, I never put pork back in.
He is like, when he says he's going to do something, he does it. So, and he feels good. However, I don't want to cut anything out of my diet because I want to live my life. I want to be able to eat what I want to eat. But I do it in moderation. Mm-hmm. So I may have a steak once a month. Mm-hmm. I may have a burger maybe once every 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So I believe in, I don't believe in necessarily cutting things out of your diet, because when you do that, you go through a deprivation or a restriction. And once you do that, all you think about is that thing that you can't have, that you tell yourself that you can't have. But if you tell yourself, I can have this in moderation, mm-hmm. then it makes it easier for you. So I don't even necessarily need to have beef, but if I want it, mm-hmm. I'm going to have it.
Knowing that you can have it. I did put beef back into my diet, mm-hmm. And initially I started doing it on the weekends. I could have beef, uh-huh. and that worked for me for a while until I noticed such a difference. You know, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I can have beef, uh-huh. and you know, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday I didn't, and my body felt different. So I didn't like that feeling of having all that beef in my stomach. So right. Now I just eat it when I want to eat it, which right. is not, because then it was like after the first year, because you just don't even understand how good a cheeseburger is.
Oh,
when
yeah.
You haven't had one in a year. Oh my God, that first cheeseburger was so good.
Yeah, sure.
But then once you start to say, oh, I can have it on the weekend, and then I actually almost forced myself to eat beef on the weekend. That's all I would have. Burger, steak, you know, roast beef, right. Corned beef, whatever kind of beef, just give me that beef. Mm-hmm. And then my body felt sluggish and heavy on Mondays when I went to the gym. Right. So I went from that to, I never incorporated pork back in, and mm-hmm. the reason for that is more on the holistic side, because our bodies are really not designed to digest pork either. And actually for us to digest pork, our bodies create an enzyme that is actually toxic to our bodies. So when we eat pork, we actually break our own bodies down. Wow. So I don't do anything that's going to break my body down. You know, there's enough stuff with the pollution and stuff and all the other things they put in our food.
I like the bacon every now and then.
Oh, no.
I don't know about y'all, but I like the bacon every now and then.
I won't cook it. I actually started cooking it for a friend lately, but, you know, I'm going to stop doing that too, because I feel like I'm killing him. You know, I'm poisoning him. Every time I let him or give him pork from my hand, I'm poisoning him, and I know this. So that's uncomfortable for me. Oh, that's uncomfortable, and I might edit that part out. I've eaten pork since '96. Okay, so it's been a minute.
Wow.
But let me let you get back on your track.
Okay, so what I want to take a moment to do is I want to talk a little bit about nutrition, and I am a certified nutrition coach, and I believe in it's the company I go through is called Venus Nutrition, and the program is amazing. And the reason why this program works is because it's not based on restriction. You eat what you want to eat, and you eat up to 6 times a day. So why 6 times a day? How can you eat? My friends often ask me, why do you eat so much? I'm what you call a grazer. I eat every 3 to 4 hours, yep. And that's how I keep my weight down. Because when you eat every 3 to 4 hours, basically your metabolism, which is like your fire, your internal fire. Think of it like this. Think of a fire. Think of a fire. When you feed a fire logs, right? Mm-hmm. It burns. Mm-hmm. So your metabolism is like your internal fire. So in order to lose weight at a consistent basis, lose fat at a consistent basis, you got to keep feeding your body. Mm-hmm. So it's not like eating 1 meal a day. So I want to lose weight. I'm going to eat 1 or 2 meals a day. But do you understand that sumo wrestlers eat 1 or 2 meals a day mm-hmm. because they want to gain weight? They want to have that.
Your body feels like it's starving, so it holds on to the fat.
So exactly, and your mm-hmm. body it protects itself. Yep. It doesn't want to die. Yep. So basically, what happens is if you don't feed your body will hold on to stored fat, saying, "Oh, don't let it go, because I don't know when she's gonna feed me again.
That's right.
I don't know when she's gonna feed me again, so let me hold on to it. I can't let it go. I want to live." But if you're feeding your body every 3 to 4 hours a small meal, your body says, oh, she's going to feed me so I can release this fat. I don't have to hold on to this fat. Mm-hmm. Very good analogy. Think about this. When you were an infant, why do all infants eat every 3 to 4 hours. Why do they do that? Because God programmed us to eat like that. He programmed us to eat every 3 hours. Our mothers have the appropriate amount of macronutrients, which is your carbs, protein, and fat in their mother's milk. They eat every 3 hours. They eat until they're what? Satisfied, not stuffed and full. When they're satisfied, they stop eating. And then every 3 hours, they eat again. So man made up breakfast, lunch, and dinner. God didn't make that up. He wants our bodies to be programmed and work the right way, and that's why he has infants eating every 3 to 4 hours. So we have to get back to that system. And what Venus Nutrition teaches us is when you eat the proper amount of macronutrients, which is customized to your body on my program, every 3 to 4 hours at the right amount of calories for your goal. So say you want to lose 20 pounds, the system will figure out how many calories you should eat per meal. So say you're eating 250 calories per meal, which is basically 1,500 calories a day, what it is, but it's broken down into 6 meals. So it gives you a program of exactly what you need to eat. And what I love about the program is you start on it, but then you can come off of it and do it on your own. It's not like a diet that says, here, follow that diet and do it. And you can do that for so long. But then you don't want to follow this diet anymore. You want to be able to live it.
Right.
So what Venus Nutrition teaches us, this nutrition program teaches us, is how to do it on our own. It teaches us how to do it, and then you can do it by yourself. So you learn what 8 ounces of chicken is. You learn what 6 ounces of tilapia is. It's a learning process. So I think what is utmost important is people need to understand that the more you eat in smaller meal increments, the more fat you're going to lose.
It's really hard to get people to understand that.
I know it's hard.
When I started, a girlfriend of mine who lived next door, she started with me. And so I'm reading everything, because once I get into something, I'm going to read everything. So I'm reading everything, and I learned that about, eating the 6 small meals a day and how it keeps your metabolism going. So I told her. But, people are so sold on what they've been taught forever. So in order to lose weight, they think you have to diet. And they think dieting means you have to eat this salad once a day, and, this kind of stuff. And what happened was I started losing weight like crazy with the cardio and then, eating the 6 small meals a day. And she actually didn't lose any weight. I mean, she lost some weight because she got active, but she wasn't losing weight the way I was. And so she made some excuse about our body types or whatever. And then she eventually quit because she wasn't, getting that weight loss that she was looking for. So definitely the 6 small meals a day, I am definitely a living testament to that. And if anybody could have watched me and her, it was amazing to really just see it. And I would ask her, I said, are you eating? And she's like, girl, I'm going to have a salad and I'm going to have a diet soda. And I'm thinking to myself, a diet soda, so you're getting some acid and you're not going to eat enough. And, what are you really doing?
And you have to make it. It's not like, it's difficult when you go to 6 meals a day because we're not programmed anymore like that because you're so used to eating 3 meals a day. Some people only eat 2 meals a day, which is a travesty.
Really bad.
But it's hard at first. It's really hard at first. But anything that's worth doing is generally hard in the beginning if it's worth it. So it's all about discipline. And I know when I started it, for the first week it was great. I was like, oh, this is so cool, this is wonderful. The second week I was like, I gotta plan this, I gotta think about it. It was a pain. I didn't want to do it anymore. And then the third week I pushed myself through. I talked to my nutrition coach, and he helped me push through. And then the third week, I was like, this is part of my life now.